Hi everyone. Today we're going to do a video on scissor skills and cutting. So we're going to start with our 3 and 4-year-olds and we're going to move our way up. So the first thing we need to do is obviously learn how to hold the scissors. So most of the children should know how to hold the scissors by now, as I should have taught them, but they may need a reminder. So in the little hole goes our thumb, and in the bigger hole goes 2 fingers. Now some people prefer to have this finger out and has a stabilizer, and that's acceptable, but still 2 fingers remain, okay? These scissors are called map scissors, and they're really nice for our younger population because they have this little piece in here that allow it to be spring-loaded, so they reopen automatically. But if I just want them to be on regular scissors, I just move that out of the way, and now I have to open and close. So it's a good way to teach that skill. So the first thing we always teach them is thumbs up. So thumbs up means you're doing it right. Thumbs down, turn it around. So if you see your child holding their scissors like this, that's an immature scissor grasp. And what we want to teach them is, again, that thumbs up. Thumb is on top. That means you're doing it right. Thumbs down, turn it around. So we want our thumb on top, okay? And the first thing we're going to teach when we do scissor cutting is snipping. So you're going to get a very small piece of paper, a very small strip, and we're going to teach them snipping. So again, thumbs up, and our scissors are always going to point up. And then you're just going to help them hold their paper with their other hand, put it in, and we're just going to snip. Okay? So if your child can do this successfully, it's time to move on to the next step. The next step is to work on cutting across a piece of paper. No lines. Just taking a piece of paper and cutting across it. Again, thumbs up, scissors up. Okay, if they're able to cut across the piece of paper, which is called progression of scissors, or progressing your scissors forward, then it's time to move on to the next step. The next step is starting to cut on lines. So again, love index cards because they supply a little bit of stability in the paper. It's not so flimsy that it's folding over on them. And I usually use a nice bright colored highlighter. And again, thumbs up, scissors up, and then they're going to cut on the line, okay? And they're going to try to stay on that line. Unfortunately, I drew lines on each side, but basically they're cutting on the line, okay? And they're going to cut on the line. And if they can do this, and I apologize because you're seeing the wrong angle, but if they can do this, which is the short lines, probably about 3 inches to 4 inches long, the next step is to go to longer lines. So again, I just use the index card and I hold it the other direction, and now they're going to cut on the longer lines. Again, thumbs up, scissors up, and then they're cutting on the lines, okay? I teach them that their scissors are eating the line, and this is the mouth of the scissors, so the mouth needs to be on the line and pointing at the line all the time, okay? Once they can cut the long line, we're going to progress again. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on cutting an arc. Okay, an arc requires them to turn the paper and the scissors. That's the harder step. And that's important, obviously, for cutting out our shapes and cutting out pretty much anything that isn't a straight line. So what we're going to teach them is that their helper hand has a very important job. It's to help feed the scissors. So they're going to start on the line, and you're going to help remind them that they have to turn the paper. The scissors still remain pointing up, and they're going to have to reposition that hand. So stop and move the hand and keep turning the paper. Okay, once your child is able to do that successfully, you're going to move to the next step. The next step is to regular paper. So we're going to get off the index cards and we're going to move to regular paper. It's a bit flimsier, so it's harder for them to hold and to turn and to manipulate because that paper keeps wanting to flop over. I'm going to stick with my arc, or you can go back to straight lines. And again, feeding the scissors, the helper hand has to turn the paper. So if they're not turning, tell them to stop, move the hand, and go again, okay? And they're going to cut on that arc, okay? Once they're able to do that, we're going to go to angular lines. Angular lines are harder. What I teach the kids is that they have to stop at the top, but go all the way to the top. A lot of times the kids get almost to the top, and they see that it's going to go down, and they start turning the scissors, and they miss the top of the angle. So we want them to go all the way to the top of the mountain, all the way to the top, then turn the paper and head down the mountain, okay? Go all the way down to the very bottom of the mountain, go all the way, then turn the paper and go all the way back up to the top of the mountain, okay? So that's what you're gonna start working on. And once they can do this, then you can move to simple shapes like a square or a triangle, oval, circle, and have them start to work on those cuttings. All right, have fun.